I'm proud to call New Orleans home for a lot of reasons. It's so many years of history and people that have contributed something very distinctively different. There's something for everyone here, and there's a lot to learn from and to contribute to. And I think whatever age you are, whatever background you have and you bring with you, there's a lot to enjoy, but a lot to contribute and to continue to make it a better and better place to live. What I've been working on since I was honored with YLC is to think about what New Orleans needs in terms of the bigger issues, what's really relevant for us as a community, and certainly the investment that we make in young children and the return on that investment is tremendous. So the museum has worked for a long time, for 13 years, to really reimagine itself, to think of a world-class model facility that could be used to help young children, help the families, help the schools in the area. That's kept me very busy. It's kept a whole group of people, talented people, very busy as we've been shaping a vision, working towards that with the reality, with fundraising and designing, and now operating and implementing it. You know, I think great leaders are really first to listen and to follow, to be inspired by others, to think about what matters in the long run, not just the short-term glory, if you will. But I think really great leaders are people who look far into the future, who look at systems that can change, who take inspiration from, whether it's from ages ago or in my case, from the young children surrounding us. You know, when the pandemic hit, our museum had only been open in our new location for 6 months. We worked for 13 years to create a vision, to fundraise and to build, and to finally operate our new museum. And we had plans for our first 18 months and our second 18 months and so on. And it was a big disappointment, to put it mildly, that we had to close so abruptly. But I think that what we always need to do is to think about the management of resources, of talent, of time, of space, and of money, and to think through how you use those resources differently. You can continue to contribute, continue to work towards your mission, and continue to make the city a better place. But you'll do it a little differently in the face of a disaster, and certainly in the face of this pandemic. You know, we've recalibrated, we've reimagined, we've rethought, and we're making some very exciting plans right now and implementing some wonderful new projects that we hadn't worked on before. I think it's important to always stay focused on what's relevant, what's needed in our city. And so as we continue to dig in and understand on many different fronts what our city needs to be more equitable, to be safer, to be a more vibrant city, to be a more resilient city. Each of us can find our path and our way and our contributions and say, I care about this. This inspires me. This motivates me. This speaks to me. I can contribute here. And so I think as emerging leaders are going forward, you have to do something that makes you satisfied and invigorates you and really gives you the oxygen to keep going. So first finding what it is that motivates you enough that you'll keep going, but then figuring out the best way to make a long-term impact. It's not just a short-term glitzy bling that goes for a short period of time, but it really making meaningful change. I heard a great quote years ago that if we remain relevant, we remain sustainable. So whether it's around the environment and the management of water, that is such a critical issue for us, that is something to work towards. Whether it's racial equity, that is another critical issue for us. That is something to work towards. Whether it's education reform, that is something to work towards. So whatever it is that gets you personally excited, that's where your heart and your energy and your passion needs to go and drive you. And it's a lot easier to keep going forward when you feel it inside.